as I told you before, I am I have registered myself as a faculty. So for my login, I will be using student view. Then only I can access the AWS resources. So எனக்கு அந்த மாதிரி வரும், உங்களுக்கு அந்த மாதிரி வரலனாலும் ப்ராப்ளம் இல்லை. யூ ஜஸ்ட் கிளிக் இன் டு தி அந்த லேப் லிங்க் கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க. உங்களுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி ஸ்க்ரீன் வருதா மட்டும் பாருங்க. ஜஸ்ட் மேக் ஷுர் யூ ஆர் ஏபிள் டு கெட் தி ஸ்க்ரீன். And I have clicked the lab 3 introduction to Amazon EC2. All of you can try in the same manner. You just click modules click பண்ணீங்கன்னா it will show you lab exercises, right? In that you just scroll down, you go to module, I think module number 6. Module number 6. Under module number 6 compute, you can see there's a lab session, lab 3 introduction to Amazon EC2. EC2 means Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute. So once you click it, since I am already in student view, it will open properly. If I come out of the student view and if I click, it will create some problem for me. I have faced it. Hope all of you are able to get this screen. Kindly confirm whether all of you are okay. So now here in this set of options, you click start lab. See, there is the one important thing about this AWS Student Academy is that they will be giving you the user manual, right? For all the experiment you will be having, see here in there's a region, right? This is actually a user manual, what you can do with this experiment, EC2 experiment. In the Amazon EC2 services, number how we can implement the procedure steps for that is available here. You simply click and drag down, you'll be able to see the procedures to proceed with, right? So first I have already gone through. I'm going to simply tell this procedures. So first, if you want to connect, actually now from our client from our computer or laptop, we want to connect with AWS server, and we are going to request for the AWS services. In particularly this time we are going to request for computing facility, right? We are simply saying எனக்கு வந்து இந்த ஸ்பெசிஃபிகேஷன்ல ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டர் வேணும் அப்படின் we are going to make a request saying that this is the specification for the computer which I want to access, right? So for that, first we have to connect with the AWS server. So the procedure for that is that I have to start the lab. It will take some time, but you have to be patient. It also depends on your internet connectivity. So you will get a screen like this, and you will get a lab status like this. So until it is changed from in creation to ready, you have to wait. And remember, under this AWS Student Academy, you can do any lab session only for 2 hours. After that, the account will be automatically closed, and that particular experiment will be closed. So if you are going to do any exercise or practice any activity, or if you want to do any exploration, you can do it only for 2 hours. After that, it will be closed. If required, you can open it again, but you have to follow the same procedure again. So I'm just starting the lab. I'm connecting from my computer to the AWS server. This is what's simply happening in the background. But it will take some time based upon internet connectivity speed. It may vary with each of the individuals. This is why I told you to join with laptop or computer, because these things is not possible with your mobile. Minimum it will take minimum 2 to 3 minutes. Every time you are going to start a lab session, you will have to do like this only. There is no other choice. Based upon the computation speed, computational advancement in your laptop, and the internet connectivity, the speed, the time taken may vary slightly. And I'm not sure um, whether your college internet Wi-Fi access permits this thing, because previously when I tried to open the AWS Student Academy login, our college firewall has blocked. So make sure you have sufficient mobile data with you, because in our regular classes, especially on Saturdays, where we meet in person, at that time if you want to use net facility, don't our college Wi-Fi is not permitting to access the AWS site. For me it has happened. You can try it. If it is not working, but be prepared that you bring mobile data, sufficient mobile data with you. I'll take a short break. It will take some time. Right. Now now you can see the status has now been changed. Earlier it was in creation. Now it is being changed to ready. Whether anyone of you got this status, lab status?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you got this message, you just click the cross, and now we are connected with our AWS server. Now we have created a connection with the AWS servers. This connection will last only for 2 hours, 1 hour 56 minutes. Right now, you once this connection is established, we can click this one, AWS. Once you click the tab AWS, it will open the it will it will connect with the server. Once you click the AWS, from your client node will be connecting to the AWS server. So from the server we'll be getting this information. You will be getting a lot of notifications. Don't bother about them. Just click done. Nothing much. Right. So this is more like your home screen. Right. So now we are accessing the web page from the AWS server. So we can recently I have tried EC2 service. So it is showing me recently visited. For you, most of you will be getting, yeah, for most of you will be getting a screen like this. Right. So you simply scroll, you can scroll down, can look for this one for the services that you can start with. So you can start here. So now we are going to uh, we are going to access one simple service, that is EC2. I'm going to create a virtual computer. I'm going to create a virtual computer in the cloud server. So the computer which is going to be created will be there in the AWS server. So for that, we are going to follow these steps, following procedures. Right, I have clicked the EC2 services. So it will open the dashboard for that particular services. It will take some time because everything depends on the network speed. Right. Are you able to see this? Are you able? Are you people able to get this screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before we start implementing the concept of EC2, right? Before we start implementing the concept of EC2, let us learn what is basically a EC2. It's a service. It's a EC2 is a service provided by AWS, right? So what we can do with this service, we can create virtual computers. We can create virtual computers in the AWS using this service, EC2 service. um, 1 second, I'll just take a short break and then I will take a short break. I will be back in a couple of minutes. So we'll continue. Just a couple of minutes. Just we have a PPT on EC2 services. Let me check. If I have the PPT, probably you can visualize that concept EC2 concept of EC2 in a better way. I think it would be better if you I check the PPT. Very easy to. Okay. Give me good option. So, yes. It's results. Okay, fine. Mm, yes,
Sir, doubt.
yes, please tell me.
Shall I post website in my EC2, sir, for resume?
No, first in EC2 services, first you can create a computer for hosting a website. First, you need to have a computer, right?
Yes.
So this EC2 will let you create a virtual computer in the AWS server, and you can use this virtual computer to carry out your desired task. So that's the
Yes, sir.
first thing, right? So we are gonna see learn how to create a virtual computer in the AWS server. I think you are also. I request you to, in your free time, I request you to go through this manual, right? In this page, in the home screen of your student account, you can go through this manual in your free time, right? Such that you can have better idea of what you are doing. There may be initially there may be some variables or terminologies which are not known by you, but over the during the due course you will be learning all the terminologies that are associated with this concept. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to create a virtual computer in my AWS server. So I will break it down in a simpler manner for you. Assume you are going to purchase a computer, a desktop computer for your home, right? What are the things that you will be doing? You will be specifying the computer specifications, right? நீங்கள் கடையில் போய் ஒரு கம்ப்யூட்டர் வாங்குறீங்கன்னா என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நீங்க உங்களுடைய ரெக்குயர்மெண்ட்ஸ் ஸ்பெசிஃபிகேஷன் சொல்லுவீங்களே, எனக்கு இத்தனை ஜிபி ரேம் வேணும், இத்தனை ஜிஹெச் ஸ்பீடு வேணும், இத்தனை ஸ்டோரேஜ் ஸ்பேஸ் வேணும் கேட்பீங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ லைக் தட் we are going to set, we are going to make a request to AWS server to create a virtual machine based upon the specification which are going to provide, right? And one more thing we have to remember is that we are, though we are using AWS student account, the condition of free tier is also applicable. We cannot choose the specifications which are a little bit advanced. நம்ம அந்த கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ணும்போது during the configurations we'll be learning that, right? So we will be learning about all this. You can see சார் நேரத்துல ஏன் வர்ஜினியா வருது, I will teach you all about this during the due course. You know, there are certain things when we are learning VPS, virtual private cloud, VPC. At the time we'll be learning everything about this one. But for now, let us focus on how to create a virtual computer in our AWS server, right? So I'm going to give a name for my virtual computer in the AWS server, because once you when you are start doing yeah, exploring, we may have to create 2 or 3 computers, right? For right now, we are going to try to create only one virtual machines, but over the due course, we may be creating 2 or 3 virtual machines parallelly. At that time, in order to keep track of the identity of the virtual machines, we are going to set a unique name, right? So here you can see in the manual itself, they would have suggested you follow a unique name, right? I think you can choose any name, but you have to remember that what are the names that you are creating. Yeah, here they have given you choose web server, right? So here they are given my web server, you can choose my web server, no problem with that, but you have to remember the name which you are specifying. Second thing, so I have created a name for the virtual, I have created a unique ID for my virtual machine. Now you have to specify what operating system that should be installed. When you are purchasing a computer from a normal computer shop, you will be telling the shop owner to install a particular operating system, right? Similarly, even in case of this virtual machine in AWS, we are going to specify the operating system. We have the option of specifying the operating systems. There are many, but for simplicity, we are going to stick on with the default one. So the default one is Amazon Linux. So the default one is Linux. Sir, you can ask me a question, sir. Computer virtual computer ringa எப்படி சார் நான் OS install பண்றது? It is possible because you can see under OS imagings. You might have heard about this ISO, I think ISO image of operating systems. So it is, so your Amazon AWS console provides you images of several operating systems which you can choose to install in your, being your student AWS student account, we are restricted to access only the default one, that is Amazon Linux, right? Don't choose any other operating system, you have to choose only the Amazon Linux operating system. Here you can see only when you choose Amazon Linux, it is a free tier eligible. So if you choose any other thing, it is not eligible for a free tier. So even if you are a student, you accessing student account, you are literally using free tier functionalities only. You just scroll down, right? Again, the instant type, we have to choose T2 micro. These are default, don't change any of this thing. So it is by default T2 micro only. So under T2 micro, you will be given one CPU, one processor, 1 GB memory for normal usage. Next one, here they are giving you security option. For security, you can choose for free tier student account, we have to choose VOC key. Remember, when it comes to key pair, actually key pair is basically used for encryption and decryption purpose. If you want to secure your data, whatever data I'm going to store in the virtual computer which I'm creating in the AWS server, right? I'm going to protect them using the security algorithm, right? We have many security algorithms, AWS, DES, RSA. These are the well-known security algorithms that are used to protect the data stored in any computer. So we are going to use them. Basically, this algorithm, security algorithm, requires a secret key. So we're going to set the secret key. So the key pair I'm choosing is VOC key. Since we are using free tier students account, this is the only option we have. And next, I have to go to network setting. In network setting, I need to choose edit. So under the VPC, virtual private cloud, I need to choose VPC lab, because we are accessing the uh, virtual private cloud of, that is the lab virtual private cloud of AWS server. That is the virtual machine in the server. And next I have to choose this one, security group, right? You can choose the usual one, security group. Here you can see. So far we have created the images. We have chosen the instant types. For security purpose, we have chosen the key, right? And for network setting, we have chosen the VPC lab. And for firewall, see, all these informations are going to be incorporated when your virtual computer is going to be created inside the virtual server. So all these parameters will be taken into account when creating your virtual computer inside the AWS server. So here under the uh, firewall security, we have to create the group securities, create security groups. I think it's already created. Only thing I have to change the name. Even you can use the same name, it doesn't matter. But if you constantly use the same default name, it may contradict with, when you are creating 2 or 3 instances, it will contradict with each other. So that is why you always keep track of the namings. So here when it comes to, here by default they have given website is web server security protocol group. But when you are creating 2 or 3 EC2, is very slow. So I'm just renaming the title. And here, when we are learning the security part, I will teach you. There are some group policies that are imposed. For now, since we are trying it for the first time, we remove this inbound security pool, because this is important. Inbound means all the incoming request. The virtual, we are creating the virtual machine, it should be able to accept all the requests received from our client computer. So for that purpose only, we are removing this security. That is the inbound. Inbound means communication, incoming communication. So we should not have any restriction on incoming communication to the virtual computer created in the AWS server. So for that purpose, I am removing this one. Fine, removed. And I think maybe you have to be careful about this one. So the storage configuration and all, you keep it as default. We are not going to be bothered about this one. I think we have already seen when we are specifying T2 micro, at the time itself it has come. So we are creating a virtual computer which is having 8 GB. So it ran for your Linux operating system requires, if you are installing Linux operating system, it requires minimum 8 GB storage space. So that we are providing. So the storage space is minimum 8 GB, we are providing it. And I think here in advanced setting, yeah, in advanced setting they are specifying termination protection. I request you not to enable this one, because it is creating error. If you have tried it, right, don't do that. When we are creating EC2 instance, please don't create or enable this option. In future classes we'll try this one, but for today don't enable this one. The termination protection enable பண்ணாதீங்க, disabled ஆவே வைங்க. So இதுல நீங்க போனீங்கன்னா வரும். When you once you enter into the advanced details, you may be getting that option. Where is that? Oh. Here you can see in advanced setting, the termination protection. You can see there is an option given. You can enable or disable. Don't select anything. You leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. It will work fine for today. For later classes, when we are discussing about other concepts, at the time we'll deal. And I think Dora, pretty much we have come to the completed the configuration. So nothing much, right? So we will launch the EC2 instance. So once you have created all this setting, you click launch instance. It will take some time. So right now, inside your AWS server, we have created a virtual computer, right? So you should get a message, this green tick mark saying successfully launched. You can also check this virtual machine, right? I will show you in a minute. So I just clicked this option, right? Under that, I can directly go to EC2 instance. If I click here, remember one thing. Remember, please listen. Initially, when you are creating EC2 instance, நீங்க முதல்ல இந்த console, இந்த EC2 console open பண்ணும்போது உங்களுக்கு ஏற்கனவே at the time of opening itself, this instance will be running. This is the instance. நம்ம அங்க லேப்னு ஒன்று கிளிக் பண்ண பார்த்தீங்களா, ஸ்டார்ட்னு கொடுத்தோன்னா கொஞ்சம் ரன் ஆச்சு பார்த்தீங்களா. It was actually creating a instance from your client computer to the server. So you should not disturb this one at any cost. The patient host மட்டும் we should not disturb this one. Actually, the newly created instance, இப்போ நம்ம ஒரு virtual machine, actually the instance in the, here they are using this word instance. Actually, this instance is literally the virtual machine that we have created in our virtual AWS server. AWS serverல நீங்க create பண்ண virtual machine தான் வந்து இவங்க instance னு சொல்றாங்க, right? நீங்க you could remember the name. I have renamed it now web server. So this is the name, this is the unique ID. It is running, but here you can see it is initializing. Still now it is not yet ready. Now right now this virtual computer which I have created is not yet ready to take up any task. It has to be changed like this. இந்த மாதிரி மாறணும். This instant, this virtual machine should change like this. The status check should be changed like this. But right now it is initializing only, right? You have to wait for some minute. This is a refresh button. Here you can see this is a refresh button. You click it. அதை click பண்ணீங்கன்னா it will update. You have to wait until this status is changed to 2x2 check passed. அது மாறினதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் your machine is ready and you can access it. Until then you have to wait and you have to refresh it. Whether whether any one of you is able to create a getting this one, யாருக்கா வந்திருக்காது web server? Whether are you able to get it, ma? Whether in your AWS console, whether you are able to get it? I'm
No,
refreshing. Parliya.
It's still in share license.
Now you can see in my console it is changed. The instance which I have created. Yes. Now you can see it is, yes, if you are getting it, then we have successfully created a virtual machine in AWS server. Now I can use this virtual machine to carry out any computational task. புரியுதுங்களா? இப்போ நான் வந்து AWS சர்வரில் ஒரு விர்ச்சுவல் கம்ப்யூட்டர் கிரியேட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். இப்போ இதில் நான் வந்து ஐ கேன் இன்ஸ்டால் சாஃப்ட்வேர், ஐ கேன் டூ எனி கம்ப்யூட்டேஷனல் டாஸ்க், எனிதிங் ரெக்வயர்ட். ஸோ பேசிக் ரெக்யர்மெண்ட் என்ன? If I need to do any work, I have to first create a virtual computer in my AWS server, and we have done it today, right? But there is a catch point. நீங்க இப்போ AWS ஸ்டூடெண்ட் அக்கௌண்ட்ன்றதுனால இது நீங்க ப்ராப்பரா க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி, since we are creating this instant, that is virtual computer, in our student login, right? Even if we miss some point, it doesn't matter, right? But if you are doing it in the AWS free tier, you have to be very careful on this one. Once this instant is changed to running, right, as long as this instant is alive, you will be that, and the threshold and the 750 hours will be measured. Once it is exceeding 750 hours, you will be charged commercially by the AWS. So that is why, so we have created it. Now we are going to close it and terminate this process properly, such that we can follow the same procedure when you are using free tier account also. நீங்க AWS ஸ்டூடெண்ட் அக்கௌண்ட் யூஸ் பண்றீங்க, ஃப்ரீ டயர் அக்கௌண்டா இருந்தாலும் நீங்க அதுல சேஃபா எப்படி க்ளோஸ் பண்றதுக்கு I'm going to tell you, right? So this is the usual process for creating a virtual machine. So I have created it. Now I'm going to terminate this virtual machine. நான் AWS அக்கௌண்ட்ல கிரியேட் பண்ண virtual machine அது லைவ்ல இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் it will be charging you. So it has to be properly terminated. So for that, I have to select the instance. Kindly bear with me for next 5 minutes. I will complete the topic. It's going to end up the topic. So I have to select the instant. Then I have to choose instant state. Right? First I have to click stop instance. It will give you warnings. Don't bother. Just click stop. Right? You will be getting a message, successfully stopped. Right? Now you click this instant state again and click terminate instance. It will again show you messages. Don't bother. Click terminate. You wait. It will you will get a shutting down, right? So it's like shutting down or normal computer. நம்ம normal computer shut down பண்ணோம்னா screenல வரும் இல்லையா shutting down ன்னு சொல்லிட்டு, same kind of a thing. So now you can see the status is changed to terminated. Now whatever work we have done, we have closed it. AWS serverல நம்ம எதெல்லாம் என்ன ஆக்டிவிட்டிலாம் பண்ணோமோ க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிட்டோம். Now we can close this one. In the console மட்டும் we can close it. Right? We'll get back to this screen. In this screen, you have to click end lab. Once you click it, it will ask for yes or no. Click yes. You will get a message like this. You may close this message box now. The lab resources are terminating. Right? So now first on the AWS server la number create panna whatever virtual machine we have created inside the AWS server, we have terminated it. Second, now we are disabling the connection. Initially we made a connection from the client, our laptop, to the AWS server now. So now we are terminating that connection. So whatever processes we are followed, now we are reversing it. So once you click it, now you can see everything change to 0, right? So now I have properly closed all my work, right? Now I can log out of my AWS account, right? So I just click it, log out. Now you are safe. Even if you are if you are using free tier account, you can follow the same procedure. It is safe for you, right? Now we have come to the end of the class. Hope you understood the concept of EC2. So AWS in the Mari in the AWS cloud computing we do have many theory concepts and related lab session like this. So throughout the 5 modules, we'll be learning theory concepts and associated hands-on session. So I hope you are comfortable with the course. It will take a couple of minutes. I will finish the attendance and then we can bind off. Hope my attendance is been enabled. Stop my screen sharing. Any doubts, ma? You can ask me. You can, in your free time, please try this process. Go through the manual. Even if you can access, I think this account is valid for next 3 months or 6 months. You can do any exploration you want with that. Okay, they have not enabled my attendance. I will. Yes.